Hey guys, and welcome back to the WT Farm Girl channel. Welcome to our first generation family farm. Today we are going to be taking a look at 15 easy ways that you can make money this summer. Whether you're on a farm, out in the country, or living in the city, I've got something for you. Let's go. This first way is going to seem ridiculously easy, but when people get it mastered, they're able to make tons of money doing it. It's called growing microgreens. A microgreen is when you take a seed and you grow it teeny tiny to the point where it just starts to sprout a couple of leaves, and then you harvest it. The nutrients are supposed to be extremely dense in these microgreens, and a lot of restaurants are loving them, and a lot of buyers are loving them. So if you're in the city and you are cramped for space, you can stack these up with grow lights and trays and just keep them watered and warm, and before you know it, you'll have a crop ready to sell within just a couple of days. And then you go back through and redo it again. If you don't like to eat them yourself, there are lots of people that do, and it's something that you just might be excellent at. Why not give it a try? Idea number 2 also works well if you're living in a small space, such as in the city, an apartment, or a small house. It's where you clone potted plants. If you have a potted plant already, you're already almost done. With many potted plants, all you have to do is take a small cutting. Sometimes you add a little bit of root starter and then you put it in a pot, and within a short while you have a brand new plant ready to go. You then take these plants and you can sell them online at your local farmers markets or at swap meets. And the only expense you have is potting soil and pots, and that is it. If you're extra creative and looking to go a step further, you can take a look at potting succulents. Succulents don't take up a lot of space, they're very prolific, and they also clone themselves out. Small desktop potters are really popular right now with succulents, and they don't take up very much space. Just stack up some shelves and get to work. And if you really want to get creative and pick out a field that very few people have thought to tap into, Venus flytraps. They're a huge hit with kids, and summer is the best time to have them. While it's true that kids can order Venus flytrap kits off Amazon or any other online retailer, what they don't know is it actually can take up to 3 months for those seeds to sprout and begin growing plants. How many kids want to sit around waiting 3 months to be able to see a Venus flytrap? Mine does not. By buying the $10 kit, putting it all together, sprouting it, and when it's already sprouted and grown, you take that plant and sell it at the swap meet or your local farmer's market and double your money. It's that easy. And I guarantee no one in your area is doing it. Idea number 3 works well if you're living in the country, or sometimes if you're living in the city and you have a decent amount of gardening space. Be warned though, this idea is only going to work if you're already really good at growing flowers. For me, this is not an idea that would work because flowers and I do not mix. They just do not like to stay alive around me. But if you're one of those few people that can manage to grow beautiful rainbows of color in your backyard, well, you are in luck. With flowers, there are a couple of different options. You can grow your own flowers and cut them and arrange them and sell the arrangements at farmers markets, swap meets, or online. Or you can do a U-cut farm where you grow vast fields of flowers and charge people per stem that they cut and make their own arrangements. It also is all the rage these days with weddings, with a lot of people not wanting to go the traditional route of using a florist. Instead, they tell you when they're going to be having their wedding and you give them an idea of what types of flowers you'll have. They come down and pick them out, or you arrange them. They're always an excellent sell at farmers markets. You can even go a step further and pot your own flowers. The nice thing about flowers is that if you let them go to seed, then you can take those seeds and reseed them. Or if they're a bulb, then they'll naturally grow more flowers, so you never run out. Idea number 4 is going to take a little bit more work and a little bit more space. Idea number 4 is raising meat animals. Most people, when they think of raising an animal, they think of raising a cow. Raising a cow was great, but it can take up to 2 to 3 years for that baby cow to mature into a full-size cow and be ready to butcher, depending on the breed. Cows require a lot of food and they require a lot of space. But lucky for you, there are several other animal species that don't require a lot of food and can be ready to butcher in just a few short weeks. If you're short on time and limited on space, meat chickens can be a great way to go. Whether you decide to keep them caged up or free roaming, they can be a really quick and easy way to earn a little bit of cash this summer. The ever popular Cornish cross white chickens usually take anywhere from 4 to 8 weeks to be ready to butcher, while other varieties might take a little bit longer. If you're looking to diversify your poultry a little bit more, you can also look into ducks, turkeys, or geese, all of which are not quite as popular as meat chickens but still garner a nice price. If you're not a fan of birds but you have a little bit more space, time to put up fencing, and a little bit bigger pocketbook and time to wait for them to mature, you can look at doing either sheep, as in lambs, or pigs, both of which will require a couple of months to be butcherable. Idea number 5, rent your land to local hunters and trappers. It might be heading into springtime, going into summer, but you can still rent your property out to local hunters. Whether they're looking to plan a food plot for the fall and winter time, or if they're looking for a property to hunt for spring turkey season, grouse season, or any other type of season in your area, you're in luck. You write up your own rules and tell them how the lease is going to work, they pay you up front, and boom, there's your money. Idea number 6 is probably one that many of you guys have not thought of. There are lots of people that are in the city or that maybe have really rough land and they would love to have a garden, but they just can't pull it off. And maybe you're one of those lucky few that have the most beautiful soil you've ever been able to imagine, and you just can't plant it all. You set up chunks of your property, you either fence them off or stake them off, and you prep the soil and you get it ready, and you rent out those tracts of land for locals to come in and have their own garden. Maybe you could be kind by providing them with a water source, either hauling water in a big 275-gallon tote and a sprayer, or you could come up with some sort of rain collection system to collect rain naturally to allow them to water their crops. It's a win-win. People who can't garden because of certain circumstances now have the chance to, and you're earning a little bit of cash on the side. Idea number 7 is a little bit similar, but has a little bit bigger bang for the buck. Idea number 7 only works if you're out in the country and you have a decent property, something that's either nice to look at or has a lot of space, or maybe you have a beautiful barn. Idea number 7, rent your farm. After COVID, a lot of wedding venues went out of business. They just couldn't stay open. They couldn't deal with the legal requirements. They were done. That meant there were a lot of brides and grooms looking for places to host their weddings, or people with graduation ceremonies, or people with any sort of ceremony. Where are they going to go? That's where you come in. You could actually rent out your fields or your barns for their gatherings. You'd assist them by maintaining a list of local vendors that have tables, chairs, party tents, musicians, caterers, porta potties. You sit down with your clients, you let them look through the list, you set everything up, and they pay you to use your property. And that's only for just a couple of hours. And not only have you earned a little bit of cash in your pocket, you've made someone's day. Idea number 8 is similar, but a little bit more low-key. Idea number 8, you rent out your land to local travelers. Whether you choose an actual business to go through, such as tender or something else, or if you decide just to open it up to let weary travelers come in with their camper or horse trailer and set up shop for a while, renting out your land to travelers is a very easy way to add a little bit of cash in your pocket and let them enjoy your property as well. Ecotourism is getting huge these days as people are taking more of an interest in agriculture and looking for different ideas to spend time with their family. By opening up your farm or your property to ecotourists, you give them a chance to get extra enjoyment out of the land you've worked so hard for. Plus, you're able to add a little bit of income into your back pocket. And it's fun. As an extra bonus, if you have stalls in your barn or pastures that aren't being used, you can actually market the property to horse travelers. Horse travelers are always looking for areas that they can crash for the night or a couple of days as they move on to their next destination. Idea number 9 is a no-brainer. Grow your own produce. If you're in the city and you're able to have a garden, this is a great way to earn a little extra cash and maybe trade with your neighbors or put up a farm stand. Or if you're in the country, then you have a lot more property to be able to plant and grow, whether it's sweet corn, pumpkins, watermelon, cantaloupe, or a whole barrage of garden plants. Whatever you have a green thumb for, you can grow and then you can sell either a farm stand on your own property or at a local farmer's market or swap meets. And of course, you can always advertise online. Be aware though that a lot of people are growing their own produce, so you might have some hefty competition. But if you can find something that no one else is growing, now you've got a market. Mushrooms are actually one garden plant that you can grow indoors or outdoors, and they don't generally take up a lot of space, and they're pretty easy to harvest. And they're very easy to sell at a farmer's market. Idea number 10. Bake it up. If you are excellent at baking, whether it's quick breads, regular breads, sourdough breads, cakes, pies, cupcakes, cookies, you name it, if you can bake it, you can sell it. At our local farmers market, there are very few people that actually offer baked goods. I'm usually one of those few people that love going to the farmers market just to get baked goods. So if you have a knack for baking the tasty and the sweet, you might just have a great area that you can tap into to make a little extra income on the side. And if you're really good, you might be able to even take pre-orders. Idea number 11 is great for those who are skilled at being able to get seedlings to grow. Idea number 11 is selling seedlings. Oftentimes people don't have patience to plant their own seeds, or if you're like me, they just don't sprout anyway. Growing seedlings for other people to buy is a great way to offer diversity that they might not otherwise have buying plants at a big box store. And you can offer varieties like heirloom varieties or organic varieties, things that might sell out rather quickly at some of those other stores. Even better, people might decide to continually come back to buy more plants for the various growing seasons and keep your business going throughout the remainder of the growing year. You can sell them online or at farmers markets or on your front porch. Idea number 12, running a petting zoo. A mobile one to be exact. This won't work for everybody, obviously. If you don't have animals, it probably won't work for you. But for people that do have a decent collection of animals, we actually have several people that I know that are running petting zoos either on their property or off their property. They bring their animals to your business, your home, your group, or your party. Whether it's rabbits, goats, miniature horses, full-size horses, or whatever your brain can think of that you can stuff in the back of a horse trailer, you can actually make pretty good money renting out your pets. Photographers are also very appreciative of having critters to put in their kid photos. Now, while you won't get $2,000 for 2 hours of time for your little miniature ponies like the reindeer gets, you still might be able to get a couple $100 for a few hours with your animals, which isn't bad for a couple hours work. Idea number 13 is only going to work if you have a tractor and a trailer and you're prepared to haul it. Springtime is gardening time, and a lot of people would like to put in a large garden, but either they don't have the tools to be able to till up the land properly or they're just too tired to do it because they're older. You can jump in and help for a nominal fee. You come in, they mark the area that they need tilled and you till it up, tip your hat, and they pay you. Easy as that. Or you can go a step further and offer your brush hogging services or any other type of services that you can do with a tractor, you can get paid for. You could also be a resource for local hunters who would like to plant a deer food plot but don't have any way to do it. You can till up the area and you can offer to plant it for them so they're all ready to go come fall. Idea number 14 is camper rental. If you have a camper that you aren't using very often, you can rent it out for other families to use. Camper rental is hugely popular, especially in our area, and places that have them for rent usually rent out super fast. By offering yours up for rent, you're guaranteed an easy weekend paycheck. Our last suggestion, idea number 15, for ways that you can earn money is probably one of the most fun ways, and I think you guys would really get a kick out of it. It is using a laser engraver or a laser cutter to make money. We have the Atezr today, and we're going to show you how it works and how you can earn a very easy income off this machine in just a short while. Before I introduce the laser system, I'd like to introduce you to Tina Easton, who is a huge fan of the Atezr laser system and actually does a good job putting it to use in her business. She started off doing it as a hobby, and now with the help of her son is turning it into a part-time to full-time business with a website and everything. And these are some of the amazing pieces of artwork that she's been able to produce on this machine. She cuts all the different layers out using the Atezr, and then she goes through and paints them and reassembles them in order. The Atezr is so powerful, it can cut out a variety of materials, from wood to plexiglass to plastic to even metal. It can do a whole variety of different cutouts. Or you can use it as an engraver. It even engraves in color on metal. It's so precise you can use it to even put high-grade photos on wood, plastics, metals, or other items. This is Atezr's P20+, and it arrives perfectly packaged with everything ready to go. It seems intimidating, but honestly, the directions are pretty straightforward and you can get it put together in about 30 minutes or less. Now, if you're interested in engraving on anything that's curved, such as a water bottle, they do make a separate attachment that you can buy separately that mounts right in the Atezr and links up to it. Likely we'll end up getting one down the road so that we can engrave water bottles and other such items for selling in our Christmas tree gift shop. I personally suggest using a laptop or a desktop to work with your laser. Atezr does include a link to a third-party software program that pairs perfectly with their setup, and you're able to both design or import files into the program, set the burn parameters such as burn time, speed, material, and thickness, and then place it directly on the grid, which corresponds to points on the laser, and get a pinpoint accuracy of your work. Or if you don't have access to a laptop or a desktop, you can download the Atezr's app directly to your phone or tablet. And this laser has the capability to connect to your smartphone or tablet through Wi-Fi connections and allow you to create your work on your phone and send it directly to the laser. There is a little bit of a learning curve on trying to figure out how to use the machine and especially the program. But once you get a handle on putting a couple projects through, you get a good idea of what needs to change and how to adjust everything. And if you're still stumped on how to troubleshoot a particular issue, Atezr has an excellent group on Facebook for all of their customers where people can submit pictures of what they've been making as well as questions or issues they might have. The other nice feature about this is that it allows you to actually place an item directly under the laser, and then you can set your picture anywhere on your computer screen and tell it to start from that point where the laser's at. You can actually manually maneuver the laser over your item and then have it input the design directly into that spot. This was my first test burn onto metal. Technically, it's etching through the coating on this hammer, but we're going to take Eric's hammer and turn it into Thor's hammer. Let's see what we can do. All right, the moment of truth. Did it cut through? Hey, there it is. Look at that. It's not perfectly centered, but you know what? It's on there pretty good. And for eyeballing it, I think it did a pretty good job. Look at that. It went right through the coating on this thing. Pretty snazzy, huh? I think I did a pretty good job on that one. All right, for our next item, we're going to try engraving a flat rock I found outside. I actually have a stack of flat rocks I've been collecting just for this test. So we're going to just kind of maneuver the laser into position and see what we can do. Now again, I suggest that you probably go through and thoroughly read all the instructions as far as your settings that you want to do and how to set your laser up, but we're kind of running out of time, so I'm eyeballing it and just trying to see what I can actually get to cut through for this video. I would recommend cutting out a variety of larger sizes before going with something so small, but nonetheless I wanted to try this out on a rock, so I positioned it the best I could and told it to go. Yes, they do include safety glasses so you can keep tabs on your work, and if you feel like it's getting off center, you can either click stop on the program, or there's a big red stop button on the side of the laser. And you can see it was starting to go off the edge, but wow, it did a beautiful job cutting through that rock. And this was just me guessing on what to use. It's gorgeous. They have all the cool things you can make with this. Now, if you remember, I mentioned earlier that this laser can actually cut color into metal. It is actually the first laser that can do that, and as far as I know, there are no other lasers on the market that can actually cut color into metal. And it does that by heating the metal to certain temperatures, which results in a color change. And yes, they do even include a color chart in the program for this laser. I have not had a chance to try it, but wow, I am really looking forward to trying that feature out too. Overall, I've been really impressed with the product. They've got a great team on the Facebook page. A lot of people on the Facebook page are absolutely happy with their laser, and I think this will be a really cool way to provide some interesting items for our gift shop at our Christmas tree farm. But definitely it's a great way and a fun way to be able to make a little extra cash on the side this summer by coming up with some really cool projects that you can sell at swap meets or online. If you're the type that likes to be creative, or you like to have fun with techie type toys, this definitely is up your alley. Which of these 15 ways is your favorite? Or if you have a different way, comment down below if you have another idea for making money this summer. And don't forget to check out Atezr's website and their Facebook group. Links are in the video description down below.
Wow, that was exciting! Again, guys, don't forget to leave a comment down below so that you guys can be entered to win the amazing giveaway that is going to be coming up for the 100K giveaway. You will have a chance on every video to be entered to win. It's a huge giveaway. We've got some great sponsors. And if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and feel free to pass it along to all of your family and friends. And as usual, guys, take care. Love you. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, see ya. Bye.